And I hope I've got everything now. Now, that's that bit done. Next, the colour that she wants for her halter neck top is, when I can get my hands on it, Cereus Purple. I'll add a bit of this to our palette. There we go. And open the brush. As you can see, I'm making sure that everywhere where I think is going to be this Cereus Purple is in fact this Cereus Purple. Hopefully I will do exactly what Ali wants on this. And a little bit down the edge here. What's that? So that is the main part of it done. What I'm now going to do is go over the wings once again, and I'm going to use Administratum Grey for that. This is for the wing membranes. Okay, I want to tidy up those in this stage. And this is a very similar colour to the grey that I've already primed it in, so you're probably not going to see much of what I'm doing difference wise with the paint, but and again, I may be wrong, it does look a little bit, and I mean a little bit brighter than the primer colour. Okay, we're down to the final part of the wing membrane now. It is a bit of a long drawn out process, but basically it's just a case of, as I said earlier, tidying up where we've missed. Now, do I need to go back over I do it on some areas, need to go back over the actual fingers, shall we say, of the wings, and that's with the mix of Bugman's Glow and Kisler Flesh. There's not many areas I need to touch up on, but there are some, and that's the problem sometimes with painting. It's all a matter of making slight adjustments, and some of the adjustments that you make can affect others, and you have to make adjustments to those as well. But you know, it's one of those things, it's something you have to deal with and learn to accept when you're painting. And that's not just models. You know, when you're painting pictures, it's the same. You can accidentally catch another part of the canvas somewhere that you didn't want to catch. You'd have to go over it. It's just one of those things. Part of life, making adjustments to everything you do. Just one of those things you have to contend with. But now it's the time to make sure that you don't keep going over areas that you've already gone over, and just try and be very precise over the corrections or the adjustments that you're making here. Don't think of them as corrections, think of them as adjustments. So when we're painting, we don't make mistakes. As Bob Ross, the legend of oil painting, says, we don't make mistakes, we have happy accidents. If you think of them as mistakes, you get very, very, very irritated with yourself. So think of them as adjustments, fine-tuning things. That's the way you should think of it. And so it's not just painting that we have to make fine-tuning and adjustments to. So we should be used to it, going about our daily lives having to make adjustments to things. There we are. So there's nicks. I've just noticed I have forgotten to paint the hand here. And there we go. That looks not half bad. But now we have where are we? That's the one I want. Our usual one for metal. Warplock bronze. Give it a good shake. And pop a little bit on our palette. I don't think we want too much of this, to be honest. We'll want it for the scythe head or scythe blade. Let's undo that as well with it. The actual staff of the scythe I'm going to paint in as wood. And as I say, just be careful when you're going over certain areas, because the last thing you want to do after all the adjustments you've made to the wings, you don't want to slap a load of this metallic paint over them. And the problem is with my shaky hands, and chances are that's what's going to happen. But hopefully I can get away with not doing. It looks as though I have. Nice. So there we are. That's that bit done. Next, so I want to try and get all the areas that with no metal. So I'm going to do these areas here. And that's that bit done. And some of these areas I can get away with not actually painting with this colour and just going over with the finished metallic colour, but I do prefer having this base on them, especially when there's like ridges like this. It gives that sense of depth. And I have earrings here. I nearly said hearing gear. And finally, I don't know what that is, but we'll do that metal as well. I think that's everything for metal anyway. Next job is the staff of the scythe, and for that we're going to use dryad bark. It's the one I like using for wood, and we'll just add a little bit of that to our palette. I don't think we'll use all that much. And we'll just go over it all, and then once this is done we can start washing. So I don't know what I was going to say then. I think Ellie's looking forward to playing as this character, but I'm trying to get the rules sussed out first before we start going on to the extra characters. I've had a few games, enjoyed them immensely. Very, very similar to Zombicide with some of the mechanics, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Zombicide is a very, very good game. So I'm not too disappointed with that. In fact, I'm not disappointed at all with this game. For what I've played of it, I have enjoyed. The only thing I'm not enjoying at the moment is trying to get into all the little nooks and crannies that is being hidden by details and, well, not details, but parts of the mini. So there we have it. That is the first stage of Nick's done. Second stage of Nick's about to begin. We are going to do the wings, and for the wings we are going to use, when and only when I find the paint. Is that it there? Yes, it is. The wings and the flesh are going to be done in Reichland Flesh Shade. Now you can see why I wanted to keep the membranes fairly clean and pale. The fingers will darken up slightly with the application of this wash. And the membranes will take on the colour, the paler colour that I really like for wings, because they're not feathered wings, they are like bat-like wings, leathery wings. So this is the colour I like. I have one more wash to go on this, and that's over the top that she has, and that wash will be Gucci Violets. But I'm going to wait until this has dried first of all before applying that. I will do that off camera, but in fact, no, I'm going to wash it with this, see if I can find a different shade or something, make it a little more interesting for when I put the purple highlights on. I was looking for something different to do. So that being the case, we'll do something different. Might give the, well, not might, it will give the purple a different tint than you'd usually see. Hopefully it makes it a bit more interesting. So that's it for this video. That's all I can do. Well, not this video, that's it for this part of this video. I don't know how long we've been running on this. I may have already split it in two, I'm not sure, because I'm going to try and keep these videos to half an hour long at the most. So I'm going to shoot it as though it's all one video. When this dries, I'll come back after the transition and crack on with highlighting. So hopefully we can get this done to Ali's liking, and hopefully we can get this done to your liking as well. But as I say, as long as Ali's happy with this, that's the goal for this particular mini. Because let's face it, I like trying to make Ali happy. So that's it for this part of the video. Quick transition, and then we'll continue. But it's going to probably be much later today, if not later tomorrow, when I carry on. So don't expect me to be wearing this t-shirt. It's possible though, but let's say, join me after the transition. Hello, we're back, and here we have it, carrying on with NYX. And what we've done with NYX since the last part of the video, I've given her another going over with, well, I've given her a going over on the wings with Agrax Earthshade on the not on the membrane parts, on the fingers, I think I called them last time, and then I give another going over with what's it called again? Reikland Flesh Shade on the membrane parts, so it looks a little bit darker than you would think it would look, because it wasn't looking too dark, it was still looking grey when I finished off. So that's what I've done there. Everything else is as left. So let us get on with NYX and see how we do with the highlighting procedure. So what do we do? Bugman's Glow is the first order of call. We started that one, that was this, and we did this for the fingers, shall we say, of the wings. I like that term, so that's why I'm going to use it. And we'll just go over the areas here that are kind of like raised. I'm not doing this in the whatchamacallit, in the Bugman's Glow. I am painting it now, but it's going to be a different colour by the time we finish, so I'm not going too heavy with that colour in this precise moment in time on that part, for the simple reason being it's going to look different by the time I finish with it. And we'll just pick out the areas that are raised, and I'm taking this very slowly. I'm not rushing it because the detail isn't incredibly well defined, so I'm trying to go as well as I can with it. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is just use the edge of the brush and run down, rather than attempt to use the point. And that is what I'm doing for most of this. All we're trying to do is just create the high points and the highlights, but that's what we should be doing with this. But at the moment we are going to be, or we're picking out the actual main colour of the wings. We've done the shadow detail, now we're doing the, shall we say, the mid colour, and then we'll do a highlight on top of that. But we need this on most of the wings, just so there's a colour to go up from, because if we just stay with this, it's not going to look right. We need that colour to work up from, for making the highlights stand out a lot more. In some areas it's difficult to get to with the edge of the brush, so I'm going to use the point where I need to. And as you may have noticed, I'm not being too strict, well, I'm not being too pedantic on where I'm putting this. I am being careful where I put it, but it's watery enough that it can be corrected later on. It's just going to give a hint of a colour. It's not going to completely wash out the previous colour that we've put on. I'm just trying to make sure that everything is in camera shot, including me. I could feel myself getting lower and lower then. And I just wanted to sit up a little bit as well. Now that's that wing done. And now this wing. I could be sarcastic and call one the west wing and one the east wing, but we'll be I was going to say something else then, but I've lost my train of thought. There was going to be a joke about a building after that, but I just lost my train of thought, so I'll not bother. Oh, never mind, never mind.